Hi,
How
Meir.
are you?
It's so great. I have to tell you, my life has improved so much working with you.
Thank
And
you.
I love that we get together and do these interviews and how you share so much of who you are and what you do. And I wanted to talk about today reinventing how you're doing your business, right? Because there's a lot of people like we thought we were going to open up and now we're not opening up, or some people are doing really well and some aren't. And so I really wanted to have a conversation with the people that are in the just feeling like they're at effect in their lives, waiting for the government to tell them what they can and can't do. What is your perspective on a way that they can start getting control of their life moving forward in a way to.
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing to know is whatever you do, you need to be cause. You need to do it from the viewpoint of cause. Anyone that tells you that you need to be an effect is not your friend. So at least don't listen.
Okay.
Do the law says, but don't agree. So that's the first thing. And I'm not going to get into Corona yes, Corona not, and all these
No,
things.
yeah.
What's important to do right now is to understand that the way out of a crisis is exactly opposite of what you will instinctively want to do. The way out is to start making a list of small things you can do. The
Okay.
small, the better. Now, what do you do? What do you do? What exactly you do? You make a list of what you actually need to do. Everything that you need to do. Then from that big list, you make a list of what must be done. What must be done. And
Okay.
you do only those things. And you intentionally not doing the other things. You decide, I'm not going to do the other things. So you are cause. You
And
intentionally
okay.
decide all those things I'm not going to do, those things I'm going to do, and you do only those things that you must do.
Okay.
Okay, that's really important. Okay.
Okay.
Now, once you do that, once you have that, you start doing what you have to do. You have to do. You will see that you will get some kind of clarity, some kind of space to look into the future. Don't try to figure out before you do those first steps what you're going to do. You just look at what you have to do. It can be cleaning the house. It can be business. It can be anything that you have to do, things that you've been putting aside for a long time, and you do only those things, and you don't try to plan, and you don't even ask, why am I doing them? You're just doing them because they need to be done.
Okay.
Okay.
So
There's
anywhere
no,
that you would have maybe accumulation or whatever it is for you, whatever you decide must be done or has to be done, that's the list.
yeah, that's the list. That's it.
Okay.
And only once you complete that list, only
Hmm.
once you complete that list, you do the next thing. You sit down and you say, okay, what value can I bring to other people? And it needs to be defined. Now, I can tell you for sure you don't see what the value that you can bring. Most
Hmm.
people will not see it. It will be limited. You will have a limitation. You need an external viewpoint. You need someone to help you and figure out within this situation what can be done. And the one thing I've helped hundreds, maybe more than over 1,000 people in this time of crisis, one-on-one. And I can tell you, there's always, every business, everything, there's always something you can do.
Hmm.
Always something you can do. So I have a friend in Israel that is having a kind of an event. He's doing weddings and this kind of thing.
Hmm.
And it was shut down and there was nothing to do. He couldn't do anything. And he called me and he says, look, Meir, there's nothing to do. I cannot do anything. Of course he could. Of course he could. He had so much that he could do that he should have been doing for a long time ago. He didn't do. And we sat together for an hour and he's making now, the Corona was like, is the best thing that happened to him in his life. The best thing, he's like, oh my God, just that Corona will not finish. Oh, I want the Corona to continue. He's dying. Thank God the Corona is here. He's making so much money
Hmm.
because of the Corona. So there's always a way, always. always a way. That's the one thing that you need to know. There is always a way. You just don't see it. You know, in the worst time, people made business. In the Holocaust, people made business. In the worst, terrible thing, in the concentration camp, people did business. Why? Not because they were Jewish, but because, but because that's the nature of man.
Mm-hmm.
There are two types of people: people that surrender, and people that says, "Okay, there's always something to do." And the both sides been in the same environment, both sides been in a terrible situation. Right. Some people will say, "Whoa, I'm going to do something out of it, and I'm going to succeed despite everything." And some people say, "I'm going to surrender." Most people, most of the time, are rather for reason to surrender. Most people, most of the time, are rather for reason to surrender. The successful people are rather for reason to succeed, for reason to fight, for reason to continue despite everything.
So it doesn't come down to what you're looking for. If you're looking for a way out, you'll find it. If you're looking for a way through, you'll find it, right? So
yeah, you'll find it. And the key is very simple. It's to know that it can be done.
Nice.
The most valuable person in the universe is the person that can show people that something can be done about it. The most valuable person, the first person that showed that a 4-minute mile can be broken, that's it. Everyone else after that could do it. The most valuable person is the person that can show you that it can be done. And I'm telling you, it can be done. I've helped enough people to know. I never found one person, some were with business, some without business, some with money set aside, with some that a lot of money. Always there is a way to succeed if you don't give up, if you don't look for reason to surrender. There is a way to do it. That's the most important thing to know. Not how to do it, just that there is a way. If there is a way, you'll find it. The moment that you will decide there is a way, you'll find it.
You know, that's crazy because I can see just in my past, I can see when I hit a barrier and I accepted it. And then when I hit a barrier and went, wait a second, this is not going to happen. And I just got over it so fast. And it was all like, you know, it's if you think you can and you can't, you're right. Right. So what I love too, is it's also the other part is surrounding yourself with people that believe in you, that you can do things, right? Like, so you have those people putting the good information in, because otherwise you'll rise to if everyone around you is saying you can't do it, even if you think you can, you're working against yourself, right?
Yeah. So the one hand, it's better to have people around you that say that you can, but what's better than that?
Is knowing you can.
It's to be the engine that turns everyone around to tell them they can. If you can start to convince them that they can, you cannot not. Like if I,
I love that.
Imagine if I will say, well, yeah, there's people around me that cannot. If I will say, okay, fine, I can. No, if I take the responsibility of anyone that call me, I'm 100% going to show you how to do it. Of course I will show you, because I decided, because I already committed. So you need to commit to help them. And it's actually in a way good that you have a few useless people around you, so you can push them and show them it can be done, because it's
their practice.
You practice on them.
I love that. Okay, so you said first make a list of all the small things that you can do, that you need to do, and then after you get that whole list down, then pull out what are the things that you have to or must do, and then just focus on that, and anything else that's not on that, just decide you're not going to do that right now, right? Yeah. Maybe later, but just now you're going to decide to let it go. You're just going to do what needs or what must or has to be done. And then after you complete that, then look at how can I bring value to others?
Yeah. How can I, within the resources that I have, within the situation, what can I do? What others need? Not how, but what do they need? What do they need? Find out what people need. And then figure out what can you do? Not how you can do it, but what can you do?
Okay.
I'm not worried about how. Because
I
if
know
you look
I've gotten tripped up on the how in the past.
and that, you will never, you'll get only if impossible, 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 impossible. I don't have money, I don't have time, I don't have this, I don't have that. No, just what do they need and what can you do? And then once you have a list of all kind of things, you'll see that while you're writing it, there will be something that will come and say, oh, I can do that. I know what, boom, do, and you'll go. There will be an explosion in your mind and you'll become lighter and you will know that's it. That's what they need. And even if they don't need it, they will start to need it because you decided.
So there's two things that I love about you. Well, I mean, there's many things, but there's two that come up in this moment. And one is that you are not serious. You are playful. You are joyful. You see everybody with love and admiration, right? Even if like they're failing, or I'll call you and I'll be like, I can't see my way out. You're very gentle and like reminding me that I can. The other thing is that you're never taking responsibility or authority or leadership over me or anyone else. You're always reminding us that we are the ones that are in control. We know, do not like put that on me because we are 100% responsible. So can you speak into both of those? Because those are huge, not being serious and then not giving our power away, because especially right now, people are scared and there's like another flux or whatever at any time. And people want to have you look to them to lead them, but then you give your power away and then you start deteriorating.
Yeah. So let's start with seriousness. Okay. So the word serious have two definitions. The one is, I do something diligently, like it should be, responsibly. This is one version of the word serious. And the other definition of the word serious is when you do something, because if you don't do it, you get penalized. So you get serious. Mm-hmm. Yes,
yes.
If I do that, that will happen. And if I don't do that, that will happen. And if I don't do that, that will happen. So I do it. That's bad. That's really bad.
Like avoiding punishment.
Yeah, avoiding punishment. Yes. So how serious can you get? Dead serious. So the more serious you get, the more dead you are. Yes. You'll see that people that are playful and say, I can win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm. If I die, fine, not a problem. I'll buy a new body,
It's so true, though.
They give it for free, you just go for a nice, good-looking woman, and then there we go, you got the body.
Oh, exactly my point of playfulness, right? Like anything can be. I've noticed since I've been studying with you, I have become so much more playful, and I'm so less attached to if I fail. Cool, it's going to happen a lot, so I might as well just get used to it, so then I can learn from it. So then, because that's part of the process. I think with school we've been trained that we can't fail, or we'll be wrong, or made fun of, or whatever. Okay, we all do. So it's like nobody came out of the womb dancing, right? So it's like we might as well just play our way there.
Exactly. So number one, the first most important thing is don't do anything, because if not, you will be punished.
Oh, say that again. That's a really big point. I'm going to write it down too.
Don't do anything, because if you will not do it, you'll get punished. It's better to be punished. It's better to lose your body, and I'm not exaggerating, and to actually be true to yourself. It's much better, because once you start to think, I'm afraid of the coronavirus, so I will not hug my mother, then why is she your mother? Why am I a human being if I cannot hug my mother? Mm-hmm. And if she will get coronavirus, good, we're all going to die. The truth is, no one died from coronavirus. Well, very little people die from coronavirus. If anything, more people die from other things. So I'm sure that my wife had coronavirus, and for me, when the coronavirus saw me, I saw the coronavirus starting to run. Not him, because they're. Oh
my gosh, we were laughing.
the coronavirus is afraid of me because I'm so sure that it's nothing, just a virus. It's nothing, just a virus. Okay, and if I die, I die. Everyone die. I went to the Israeli army. I was in a war. It's much more dangerous. The chances of dying in a war much more dangerous than dying from coronavirus. I'm riding very fast motorcycle. Much more dangerous. Much more. I will not say here what speed I'm going because someone might hear it and use it against me. Yes.
Exactly.
I have to tell you a story.
Okay.
So in Clearwater one day, I was on my motorcycle and I'm standing on Drew Street. And Drew Street, like 35 miles per hour or something like that. So anyway, I'm standing and I'm in the motorcycle and I'm like, really, speed, all of a sudden blue light. Whoa. I said, whoa, that's nice. So I stopped on the side, I go out and I said to the officer, well done. And he looked at me and said, what do you mean? I said, well done, you caught me, I was quite fast. You are not slow. So he started, but I said, but what do you think about the wheelie? He says, give me your license. I said, okay, fine, no problem. I give him my license, registration, and he says, where are you from? I said, from Israel. I'm an Israeli. I just live here. And he looks at me and said, really? I'm an Israeli too. And he started to talk to me in Hebrew. And that's it. That's awesome. He gave me a warning and everything was okay. Yeah. So,
but, you didn't make him wrong. You weren't out of effect of it. You were just like, hey, oh my God, good job. Right? Like,
well done.
Yeah. Like you caught me. I think about that now. Every time I see a police officer, I'm like, oh.
You did your job. Good. I admire them. Yeah, that's their job. It's good. So if you are not serious, you would be immune for problems. Problems are a minus, okay? And when you are not serious, you take out, so imagine that you have plus and minus, only one plus and one minus, okay? If you give out plus, you are minus. Minus and minus reject each other. You will attract only pluses. So when you are serious, you're giving up minuses and you will attract minuses. When you are unserious, minuses cannot come to you because you reject minuses.
Because you're giving out pluses. So I just want to frame pluses and minuses because a lot of people that are watching this may not know. So a plus and a minus is in the physical universe. There's two, like the smallest number is two. Plus is like good. It's all the good things, and then the negative would be the bad things. So it'd be like good and bad, right and wrong, this and that, like both sides of the coin, right?
Yeah. So if you take a magnet, you see if you take a magnet, you put it in a certain way, it will attract each other. Yes. Why? Because the plus, the minus want to go to each other. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you turn the magnet around, you'll see that they will reject each other because plus and plus reject each other and minus reject each other. Okay. Yeah. So basically, every person, you can think about a person as a bubble of pluses and minuses. When you do something good, when you give out pluses, let's say you had 4 pluses and 4 minuses. If I give 2 pluses out, I'm becoming more minusly charged. Yes.
Yes.
So if I have more minus charge, I'm missing pluses. So I will attract pluses. And I will reject minuses. So when you communicate out, when you do good things, when you're unserious, what happened? You cannot attract minuses. You will see that if you go to a casino and you're very happy and you don't care if you win, you lose, you just want to have fun. You're just very happy. You will not be able to lose money. But if you go to the casino and you're very serious because you need the money and you don't want to lose the money, you will lose the money.
I've done it both ways. Totally. Yeah. I just said, $20 on roulette, and I won $720. And I was like, but I made a game of it. I was like, I want the lavender ones, and I want you to put them here, and I want you to put them. I don't want to put them because I want, and I made a whole game of it, and I ended up winning. Like, it was amazing. And then I was like, I'm done.
Exactly. So when you unserious, things happening your way. So if you have a girlfriend and you go and there's 7,000 girls around and all looking at you and everything is okay, and then your girlfriend leaves you and with her goes all the girls. There's no one around. It's just weird. It's just weird. When you want something, you would not get it, and when you have it, and when you don't want
everywhere.
it, yes. Why? Because this is a serious person life. You get what you don't want, and you don't get what you want. An unserious person life is anything he wants, he gets, and if he doesn't want it, it goes away. And it's like magic. The most successful people that I know, and I know many successful people, and I have very good friends that are really successful. And there are two types of successful people. There are unethical successful people and ethical successful people. There are those people that got money in all kind of dirty ways, and there are those people that got their money honestly. Those people that got their money honestly, they're the most unserious people in the universe. They're fun, they're light, anything, nothing can hurt them, nothing. And it's not because they have money. This is how they've been. That's why they have money. And those people that have money and they're serious, they actually don't have the money. They maybe have it in the bank account, but they don't feel rich. They feel miserable, they feel heavy. They fight all the time. They fight with their wife, they fight with the kids, they fight with the chair, they fight with the computer. They fight all the time. They always fight. They're never happy.
Yes.
Because they're serious. So if you want to be successful, the best thing you can do is force yourself to be unserious. Force yourself to smile. Force yourself to be crazy. Force yourself to be unserious. You will not be able not to be successful. And it's the best immune against diseases. It's the best immune against accidents. It's the best immune against anything. Really, it's the best. It's like there's nothing better. Now, when you are unserious, the one thing that you 100% know is that it's you. You are the source of everything. You come up with the idea. You cannot be unserious on someone else's idea. You come up with the ideas. You come up with the jokes. Even if you go from someone else, as far as you're concerned, it's yours. You are the source of everything that happened. And you are the source of things. When you don't get someone else to be a crutch to lean on, when you are not a parrot, when you actually think for yourself, at that moment, you see that not only that good thing will happen to you, you will create new things all the time. You'll create new things. Your life will expand, and you will just know. And anything that you will think about will materialize. You will be a magician, because a magician is someone that knows, but a real magician, not someone that's doing
a fake magic.
A fake magic, yes. Real magician is a person that can do something out of nothing. And the interesting thing is that all of us can bring something out of nothing. All of us, without exception. You just need to stop being serious. How serious can you be when you are stuck, when you believe that the physical universe that you create is senior to you? You become very serious.
Wow. Yeah.
Let me just say hi to everyone, because we have lots of people here on the chat.
Awesome.
Hi, so we've got the Facebook user, and we've got Aaron. Hello, beauties. Hi. And Swapna. Hi. She's saying hi.
Hi,
and
Swapna.
Sophie, so long. I miss you. I'm so happy to see you. Sophie from Austin, and the Swapna say hi to you as well. And Shooting Ambianes, I'm not sure if I say it correctly. Can I have a link to the Academy? Thanks. Yes, the Parent Academy, the link is on the screen, and it is www.meirezra.com/family. So you can just go there, or on Instagram, you can just go to my bio. It's on my bio. Or if you go to Meir Ezra Official on Facebook, you can find it there. And yes, hi, Avi Budara. How are you? Good to see you from Israel. My good friend Avi. He's got a daughter that a very, very extremely talented musician and singer. And he is an unbelievable musician, Avi. So, so good to see you. Yeah. Next question.
Oh my goodness, I got so wrapped up in what you were saying. I forgot I had two things that I had asked you about. I asked you about not being serious. And what was the other one?
This being source. We spoke about both of them. Being source.
Oh yes, that's right. Being source. Okay, perfect. Oh my goodness. So I love that. So let's talk about this, because this is something I noticed when I first started doing this. I started getting these really big wins, but then I kind of like get confronted with myself. And so I do like, wow, this is so fun. I get super playful. I'd have these amazing wins. And then like, I'd get sort of like the pendulum on the other side. So can you talk about that? Like, how can you quickly snap back? Because is that part of the process?
Yeah. So the physical, when you start to get wins, basically what happened, the war, you can say, is the war between you being the boss or the physical universe being the boss. This is a war. And it's an actual war, yes? You being the boss, meaning that love, beauty, compassion win.
Yep.
No effort. You just say something and it happened. You being the boss mean that bad is an impossibility, because you, the spirit, are incapable of doing anything bad. You being the boss mean that you are so responsible that you are trusted with everything. And on the other hand, we've got the physical universe and everything that connected with the physical universe. And while the purpose of you as the boss is to create future, to be ethical, to create beauty, to create aesthetics, the purpose of the physical universe is to destroy. And it's very hard for us to confront, because it's not our purpose. So we don't believe it that the physical universe wants to destroy.
Right.
The physical universe, if you live it, if you take a house and you don't have people there, you will see it will fall apart, because the physical universe purpose is to destroy. And it's hard to believe that this dead thing has a purpose. The purpose of the physical universe is to prove to you that nothing is possible, that you are a failure, that nothing is possible, that you are weak. So the more you agree with the physical universe, the worse you will get. The more you agree with the physical universe, the worse you will get. So what is the physical universe for a person? The physical universe for a person is not the walls and the cars and so on. The physical universe for a person is his past. The more you agree with your past, the worse you will get.
And that also is the more that you reference the past to make decisions for the future, prior causes, the same thing, right?
The more you agree in any way, the more you agree with the past in any way. If you ask the past, if you deal with the past, if you think that because someone did to you something in the past, then you need to do something right now. The more you agree, the worse you will get. The best thing that you can do for yourself is delete the past.
Okay.
Because the past, the definition of the word past, is actually the sum of all your limitations. Because you have all the abilities, and the only thing that limits you is your past. You, without your past, is a baby. Baby have all the future ahead of him. You, with your past, is 20, 30, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100 years old person. Without a past, you have no age.
I see that when in my business and as I work with people, it's like at some point there's this moment where you'll say, oh, can you do this or can you not do this? And there's one moment where instead of saying, oh, I haven't done that yet, you say, no. it's like this point where you just decide, okay, I'm not gonna test things out anymore. I'm not going to take that extra step. And I'm fascinated because I see that in my life. And since I've been working with you, I notice like there's things I start paying attention and they're everywhere in like little things that I wouldn't even, they're so small. Like even just the way I drive to work, like, or not work, but anywhere I'm going. Now I just make up new ways because I don't want to be predetermined on how I'm going to get there. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to just take a different route. I'm not going to use the GPS. I'm going to like find my way there. And if I get lost, that's part of the adventure, right? There's so many things, but there's this point, and I notice it too, because now that I'm 51, right? I'm noticing it that as people age, they just kind of say, this is what I do and this is what I don't do. And then they live in that little box and the box just keeps shrinking and getting smaller. And that's what you're talking about. The more past you have, the less options you have, right?
Past what limits you. Think about it. If the Wright brother would say, well, it's obviously that we cannot fly, then we wouldn't fly. If people say, well, it's known from the past that the planet is flat, so the planet will still be flat. If the only reason that there was any progress is because someone said, the hell with the past. Who cares about the past? Who cares what they were thinking?
Yeah.
And the truth is that the past is a lie. And the future is a lie because the past is done. You can do nothing about it. The future never comes because the future is always in the future. The future never comes. The future is only in the future. So the only important time is present time. And what is present time? By the time I say present time, it's not present time. Present time is the span of time that you can be unserious in.
Okay, I love that definition. That is amazing. Because I notice I have these wins and I get so excited and then I go, oh, can I maintain it? And then I go right back out of it. And I'm like, oh, man. And then I like have to focus on, okay, little validations. I'm like, oh my God, things are great. And then I'm like, wait, look at how great they are. Crap, I lost it. And I have to like start all over. And isn't that what you're talking about, right? So it's developing almost that muscle of like coming back to like not seriousness when you catch yourself. Because then what I used to do is I get serious that I got serious.
It's really this.
You have the things coming up now, the tags.
Yes.
People's comments coming up. That's wonderful.
Yeah. It's the span of time. It's really the span of time that you are not serious at. And most people can really be unserious for not more than a second. Most people, even if they say that they're unserious, they're dead serious.
Right. So as they're practicing, right, even if they just take what they've learned here, and hi, Swapna, even if they just take what they're learning here and then they practice and they start getting wins and they start doing that, there's the playfulness of like, oh, I wonder if I can go 2 minutes, make it a game. Oh, I wonder if I can go 3 minutes. Oh, wow. Oh, I went longer than I went last time. That's right. Like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly. So you'll see that over time, what will happen is that you will delete lies. And the more lies you will delete, what happens every time you delete a lie, every time you find a piece of truth, when you find a piece of truth is a moment when you go to before the beginning. It's a moment where you're unserious. Hey, we've got Della here. Hi. And at that moment, we all love Della. And
I haven't met her yet.
You haven't? Oh, you should. She's very, very, you two have to meet. You must. I would thank you.
Yes, I would love that. I always love to meet new people.
Very powerful, very amazing, beautiful, smart, everything. Like Della, I love Della. 100%. I'm totally love
Your
her.
admiration is overflowing.
Yeah, no, I really love her. She's so, I don't know, I never met her, but the times that we spoke and what I get from her universe, perfection.
Aww.
Amazing person. Really, really, really unbelievable person.
That's fantastic.
Yes. So basically you will see that once you find truth, what's the definition of truth? Truth is the exact thing. And when is the exact thing? The exact thing means it has no continuation, because if something has a continuation, it's not an exact thing, because at least the time is different.
Right.
Yeah. At least the time is different. And of course, the space is different because everything is changing. So the truth is the exact thing. And what amazing about truth? Truth make thing to stop existing. Truth is what make the physical universe cease to exist. That's why
because it's whole, there's no minus anymore.
There's no minus or plus. There's nothing. It's zero. In the physical universe, you don't admit of zero. So you will get a nothingness. The only way to end the physical universe is with truth.
That's so amazing. I know, it's so great. I love playing with you because I get like these ahas, and then I'm like, as soon as I try to explain it, I'm like a mess. But it's like, I got it. Let me just stay with it. I don't need to tell anyone about it. I can just get it and just play with it.
The purpose is the truth, because once you hear a truth, once you have a truth, what's the word clever mean? Clever is the ability to recognize truth. Once you recognize truth, it means you recognize that something left. To recognize truth means to recognize when something left. To recognize when something is not there. It's not, oh, I see this is white, yes, no, that's a viewpoint, that's not truth. Clever is the ability to recognize that something has left.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, and in that moment, you get more of you, because what left? Past. What can you get to live? Past. So the less past you have, the more of you have.
So let me ask you, when people are talking, especially right now, and I notice people, when you meet new people and you're connecting with them, a lot of times they will reference their past and they'll give you their history, and they'll say, oh, I come from 5 brothers and da-da-da. And that's just anchoring it, right?
It's basically what they do. They give you a point of reference because they assume that they cannot get in communication with you. So they get in communication with the mechanism of you. When a person, look, if I meet a person and I'm really in communication with them, I don't need words. I'm in communication. He knows, I know, that's it. We're in communication. We know. Once I need to add words, it's a deterioration. And once I need to tell him about my past, it's even worse. And what I get is actually, it seems like we're getting closer, but we're actually growing apart. That's why you will see that you meet someone, you fall in love with them. And what does it mean, fall in love? The urge to be together for no reason at all. And you are together for no reason at all. And now you're starting to, and you start to assume that what you do is you building agreements. If you build an agreement, it means that it's going to be broken, because agreements are temporary. Agreements are connected to everything around you. For an agreement to be kept, everything around you have to be kept.
Isn't a marriage an agreement?
No, not at all. If a marriage is an agreement, you have a divorce.
But I've had a couple of those.
Marriage is not an agreement. I don't have an agreement with Aviva. I have a creation with Aviva. If I don't create it from the beginning, and I'm keeping the agreement from 34 years ago, believe me,
that's how they deteriorate.
4 years ago, it's like, who can keep an agreement for 34 years? I've changed. She changed.
Right.
We don't have the same body. I'm much stronger, much nicer, much more beautiful. And
you are. I've seen your muscles.
So basically, marriage is not an agreement. If it's an agreement, I'm in a cage.
Yeah.
If it's an agreement, I'm in a cage. Agreement means this is it, that's it, finish, I don't care, that's what happened. It's a cage. But if it's creation, now we trust each other enough to know that every day we will do the right thing. We will create more right things. Agreement you need when you don't trust the other person.
I can see the difference with my current husband. Oh my God, he's amazing. We're constantly recreating. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. But it wasn't anything that came that way. We really came together from let's partner and do something fun and amazing and beautiful.
Yeah, so you created, it was aesthetic, it was beautiful, it's creation. When a marriage is based on an agreement, people may stay together, but they will be miserable. Like the agreement is you agree to be in jail, you know? that's I agree, I cannot run away, so I'm in jail.
Wow.
But that's not marriage. Marriage is a creation. The problem of marriage is that you create. At the day of the marriage, you sign an agreement. Once you sign an agreement, you know you don't have to create anymore. No, you're just starting to create.
It's like you get the canvas and then you get to paint it.
Yeah, you're just starting to create. And every day have to be a totally new, wow. Every time I look at Aviva, I look at her like I never saw her before in my life. She's like, she's taking my breath away because she's new, totally new for me. I put her there again from the beginning in a totally different form. And of course I love her because I put her there. Of course I love her. I put her there. So how I will not love my creation?
Wow. Okay. So what would you say is your single most important lesson that you've learned in your life, or unlearned, or truth that you've...
That nothing is important.
Expand.
Nothing is important. Because nothing is important, I can create whatever I want. There is nothing important in life. Life means change. The word life means the ability to change. For as long as you can change, you are alive. I don't know if you notice that stones are less alive than people because they cannot change much.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes. So life, life is change. So the most important thing to understand in life is nothing is important. It's just a game. Nothing is important. Nothing is important. Nothing is important. It doesn't mean that you are becoming irresponsible. It doesn't mean anything. It means that nothing is important. So just go and create. Just have fun. Create. And the beautiful thing is that if you don't put all these agreements and limitation on a person, you will do only good things. But if you put police and punishment and justice action and this and that, everyone become afraid. And when you're afraid, you're blind. And when you're blind, you do bad things. And when you do bad things, you hide them. And when you hide them, you do more bad things. And that's it, finished.
Wow. And that's the fundamental undercurrent to when you're saying, don't be serious. It's like, nothing's really important. I'm just playing a game. And I choose every day what to put back in my world and see it as a new unit of time. So just because Freddie was there yesterday doesn't mean that I just leave from yesterday. I come in at a new unit of time.
Yeah. And it's really nothing is important, because if something important, then you're in a jail. Then someone can give you a bribe. Then someone can put a gun to your head, and then you cannot have values, because if things are important, then okay, so I will put a gun to your head. If you don't do that, I'll take your money, or I'll take your hand, or I'll take your finger, or I'll take No, nothing is important. If I need to do something that is bad against my integrity, I'll check out. Not a problem. Next, take a new body tomorrow. Easy. I mean, we've done it so many times. People die so many times. What's the big deal? People die all the time. What's this? Look what happened when people start to be afraid of dying. The whole story of is people afraid of dying. People become so stupid. They destroy a whole society because they're afraid of dying, and there's nothing to be afraid of. Never mind that it's not dangerous. You know, I've asked a few people, what does it mean, pandemic? How many people need to die before you have a pandemic? What do you think? How many people?
I don't know, a million?
A million? No. The usual thing is that people die, the average time, the average number of people that die per year is about 50, 60 million people.
50, 60 million?
Right now, yes. 50, 60 million people die every year. Okay?
Outside of COVID?
Just altogether.
Okay.
From COVID, 500,000 people die. It's not from COVID, but let's call it from COVID. 500,000 people die. Okay. So let's see 1 million people would die from COVID. Okay. Good. Now let's look at pandemics in history. When something called the pandemic, the last pandemic we had was the Black Plague. It killed 50 to 100 million people.
How many?
50, between 50 and 100, no one knows exactly. 50 to 100 million people out of 1.5 billion people on the planet at that time. Okay?
Okay.
Now we have 8 billion people, let's say 4 times more, yes? Or 5 times more. We have 8 billion people on the planet, which means in comparison to 8 billion people, before we will have something like 200 to 800 million people that die, we're not actually dealing with a pandemic. It's just people die. People die. It's normal. It's actually normal. So it's just another disease. What's the problem? The problem is that I think that on this planet, there are many, many viruses, many diseases, many viruses, hundreds of thousands, if not million types of viruses and diseases. Yes?
Yes.
But the most dangerous one is fear. Fear is the most dangerous virus, the most dangerous disease in the universe is fear.
Fear you have no creation from fear.
Fear kills more people per year than all the viruses combined. You understand that if you're not in fear, virus cannot hit you? If you're unserious, a virus cannot hit you. Your immune system is so strong. You're creating your body, you're creating everything. Nothing can hurt you. You know, in the army, we had this thing that we knew that if someone got to an operation when he's afraid, he's going to die or get hit. And people that was not afraid, even if they will have a bullet with the address on it, it will never hit them. Bullets will just not hit them. If you're not afraid, bullets don't hit you. They cannot hit you if you're not afraid. You need to first be afraid, and then you can be hit.
Really? Wow.
What is fear? Fear is a state of imperception. You don't perceive. Now, because you don't perceive, you cannot protect yourself. Did you notice when you're afraid, you go, whoa, or you close your eyes, or you run away?
You retract in some way.
You don't see, you don't hear. You don't actually, when you're afraid, you don't know what you're afraid of. You don't see, you don't perceive while you're afraid. It is the most fascinating thing. Yet the only thing that can help you in an emergency situation is if you actually can see and perceive. So you can do something about it. Imagine a fighter that closes his eyes.
Yeah.
A fighter that closes his eyes will always lose. You need to be able to look life in the eyes and be willing to win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm, to be willing to die at any given moment. It's normal. It's okay. Nothing happened. It's just another death.
It's just part of our cycle.
It's just part of nothing. You don't die. The body is dead.
I mean, that's what I meant. Yeah. The physical universe cycle.
Yeah, it's just like nothing. It's the body dies. Fine. Not a problem. We'll get a new one.
I love it when you say that, because it's like what's amazing when I started playing in your world, and why I love interviewing you so much, is it's so refreshing because it's lighthearted, it's fun, it's really saying what you don't want to hear. Because what the majority of the people are doing, when I was young, I used to call myself a salmon. If everyone's going that way, I'm swimming upstream, right? Like what everyone's doing, I'm going to do the opposite. I don't even know why, but I just kind of came in with that program, right? If everyone goes left, I'm going right. Like I don't want to go where the masses are going. And it's funny because now I can see it's before I forgot, right? Like it was when I was remembering. And now when I come to you, it's like I can start seeing the patterns in my life and when I started making certain decisions. But by seeing that, now all of a sudden they're just going away.
Yeah, it's
And
amazing.
it's so beautiful. But it's like you have such a refreshing view on being able to show us where to look, but not tell us what to see.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Right.
You just got like all haloed with that new
Oh, really?
light. Yeah, beautiful.
Good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being
You.
interviewing here with me today. Oh my gosh. They're like the best conversations. I love it. I'm so grateful I get to share these moments with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone that joined. And if you want to get more data, follow me on Instagram, Meir Ezra Official, and join the Family Academy. It's a free series of webinar. It is about family relationship creation, the spirit, the physical universe, entities, the mind, who is against who, and how do you actually make sure that you are the boss, because you are.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Mwah. Thank you, Meir.
Thank you.